Hey everybody, it's Dive Girl Dab. It's cold out today. See some of my breath. It's chilly. So, what have I been doing on the boat? A bit of material acquisition. A couple days ago, I went on a drive up to Lebanon and I picked up some lovely tongue and groove fur. You can see here, it's about 6 inches wide, and we have the tongue and the groove. Fur has been used in bulkheads for a lot of years. This is smooth on one side, rough on the other. I'm going to run it through the planer and take off about 1/8 of an inch on both sides. Bring it down just a little bit and smooth up both sides of it. And I went ahead and bought 13 boards that are 12 feet long, which is going to give me a 25% waste factor, probably more waste factor than I'm going to need. But I thought just in case there's some bad spots or whatever, or I decided I want to use it somewhere else. Fellow was so nice, he threw in some extra boards for me, which is really great. He had a big stack there. Had them inside his man cave next to the wood stove where they've been dried. So it's really kind of like killed drying right now. I don't have another place to put them to keep them dry, except I've got them sitting literally under the truck when I park. And I kind of do want them to take up a little bit of moisture and acclimate to this climate because they're going to swell a bit, and I really like them to swell before I get them into the boat. So I'm going to leave them here. But I am getting loaded up for tomorrow. Now, my papa was such a great guy. When we were kids, he would go to the auction yard in the spring and he'd buy these skinny, disease-ridden young horses that had just been neglected and had bad behaviors. And us kids would train them up and feed them and groom them and get them looking just spit polished by the end of the season in the fall. And he'd sell them. And so every year our horses got a little bit bigger with us. So I became a really good horse trainer starting at the age of 5. But one of the things that he always did is and this was back in the 60s, he would run around with a couple $300 cash in his wallet all the time. And I didn't really understand why, but I think it came down to you're always going to find somebody who can need some money and is willing to part with something in their life, and you can make a bargain. So I have been talking to various sellers on Facebook Marketplace, which is one of my new favorite marketplaces to buy used things, and I'm going to make a trip up north. So I had planned to do this on my birthday trip, but of course somebody screwed that all up for me, and just can't ever really forgive that sin. But yeah, I can't let those. There's 3 used diesel Dickinson marine stoves up there, and my thinking is I could use my TIG welder to patch them up, put some new guts in them, sell 1 or 2 of them, make enough money on it that I'll have a free stove for the boat. The advantage with that is that at the end of the day, I'm going to have a cooktop, I'm going to have an oven, I'm going to have cabin heat, and I'm going to have hot water heat, all on diesel, which is a fuel I already have. And that's high BTUs, low explosions, so it's a very safe fuel for the boat. But the fellow that's selling those, I sent him links to some of my listings, and we're going to do a trade. So years ago, I bought this 30-gallon hot water tank. It's brand new, never been out of the box. It's a great unit, and I was thinking my water heater was going out, and then my water heater didn't go out. So I literally set it on top of the hot tub in the gazebo because I didn't have anywhere else to put it. Well, he's going to trade me my $308 I'm asking on that for those stoves, and what a great deal. Makes me really happy because I don't have to pay him cash. We can barter, and you know what? My papa would be proud. He would think that's pretty cool. I have another stop that I'm going to make. There's a fellow up there that has some really nice cedar slabs, just flat slabs, raw edges on them, and some white oak. And both of those are coveted woods on a sailboat. The really great thing about living in the Pacific Northwest is we have lumber everywhere. And people go out with chainsaws to get forest permits from the Forest Service to go cut trees. And you know, there's a lot of people that are connected with loggers, or people who have properties or tree companies, and there's often wood in the marketplace. So tomorrow, aside from picking up those 3 Dickinson stoves, I might only get 2, but for sure 2, I'm going to go get some lumber to rebuild my rudder. And I'm going to take my old rudder with me because I want to be sure that all the dimensions are right and that everything lines up. It's pretty long, a good 8 feet. This box in the truck here is 8 feet, but you can see I made it out of plywood, and this is what happens when you don't seal plywood, is it just rots like crazy. So I'm not thrilled with the idea of doing plywood, even a marine plywood, because of that feature. I'm going to do solid wood and laminate it with epoxy, and then I'm going to coat it in fiberglass and varnish it. So this is going to be a fun little project at the end of the day to get a new Luger rudder built. Here's the old tiller. It's in pretty good shape. I might just sand this up and refinish it. It's probably some really nice wood. And I do think I'm going to rebuild my hardware, because they just seem to be a little bit too lightweight for my desires. I want something a little beefier. And I also bought some copper sheet, and I'm going to run copper sheet across the edges of the leading edges of this gig rudder here. I have copper nails to nail it in. It'll be epoxied and then nailed, so hopefully the epoxy will bed everything in pretty tightly, but the nails will hold it until the epoxy sets. But yeah, I definitely have got to get a new rudder in order to get her in the water. And I am all about straight getting down and dirty and getting this boat wet at the end of the day. So there we go. Our sailboat for the Flippin Lyme Foundation is getting worked on. And you know what? That makes me really excited at the end of the day, because this boat is very important for me. It's going to give me a chance to go diving again and to go explore again and all kinds of other fun stuff. I'm very excited for this conversion. So getting this lumber for the bulkheads was one of the last sticking points for me, because I had the same argument with myself about what kind of wood I was going to use. Or was I going to do a Kusa board with fiberglass on both sides, which is a traditional way for fiberglass boats. Because of the pilot house, I've got more weight up high, and I've got a big wall that's going to come right through here. And this is the primary wall that I'm worried about strengthening. That's the one that I think I'm really going to need more structure, is up here higher, because the mast tabernacle fitting is right up there, so you've got all the weight from overhead coming down. So I want that wall right there to be solid. I mean, rock solid. So I'm going to do 2 walls 30 degrees offset, so when the boat's heeling over, they'll have good strength, epoxied and screwed together with silica bronze screws. So that bulkhead should be very, very strong. I don't know yet if I'm going to clear finish it or paint it. It's more likely I'm going to paint it, but we'll see. Not going to commit. So that's the latest with the boat. I'm waiting on surgery. Some of you might know I'm been tapped on the shoulder Deb, it's time for your third spinal fusion. And yeah, I'm in a lot of pain, to be honest. But it's not a great time to go to the hospital. So I'm kind of trying to put that off for a while. And I'm exploring my surgery options with various surgeons. And I'll go from there. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue to buy materials and get things set up for the boat. These bulkhead walls were one of my big sticking points, so I'm really excited to have that lumber here and to get to start milling. Hopefully this spring we'll get some work done, depending on surgery. So, you know, the thing about this project, I can set it down and pick it up when I need to. And that's why I got out of horses, is because you can't set them down. They need care regardless of how you feel, and every farmer knows that. So I don't have them anymore for that reason. But yeah, I miss that life tremendously. Yet I'm gonna refocus on the positive and explore this passion that I dipped my toe into as a preteen in Santa Barbara, California when I sailed, and I've never forgotten the thrill of that. So my current ski boat is just not gonna suit me. I can't take my Lance camper on the water. Those things are gonna get sold here too this year, and that'll give me more money for the boat. So there you go. So all kinds of things are happening behind the scene right now. Buying materials. Tomorrow's trip going up to Kelso and then back through Washington and home will be a very long journey. It's going to be painful for me to endure, but I got lidocaine patches and a heated seat and some other tricks up my sleeve. So we'll see how I do. Friday, probably be in the hot bath first thing in the morning because I'm gonna hurt. Anyway, guys, enough of that talk. Let's go back to the fun stuff, which is talking about boat stuff and boat materials. So tomorrow is going to be a fun little journey in a Lily truck here to take me up north and hook up with some people, sell out this, trade out really this water tank for those 3 diesel stoves, and patch those up and sell them here locally because I know there's a market for them here. And I'll probably end up with a free stove at the end of the day. And if you look up those Dickinson stoves, they're about $3,000. So I am looking forward to doing it on the Jeep. I know my papa would be proud of me. So I love you guys. Talk to you soon. I'll catch you on probably tomorrow on the trip. Actually, I'll do a video. Okay? I'll get everybody updated as to how everything comes down. Love you guys. Bye-bye.